this guy just this morning heard back from 3 different clients from Flynt. He did a process call and already signed a new contract. I think it was today.
I actually had on one of those, like the guy actually specifically said like, yes, I'm interested. And not only that, he's like, let's basically get a contract signed, like in like the first email. Like, so basically, yeah, one of them's like a BD manager role. It's like 150K base. And like, I literally talked to the founder and he pretty much is telling me like, you know, we're willing to pay like really good for the right person. Like OTE's like up to like 450K on this role. And he hasn't worked with a recruiting agency before. It sounds like he's talked to a couple, but has never like actually paid any for a successful placement. So yeah, I mean, I honestly, like he actually responded to me yesterday technically. So 2 of them were today, but I think I sent you a screenshot and pretty much the guy was like, yeah, like let's see it. And then I pretty much responded to him pretty much, well, actually no, I cold called him immediately, got his phone number from Contact Out. And I pretty much, what's interesting is he had like a pretty impressive voice agent. Like it was like this AI thing saying like, why are you calling? But I pretty much explained to it like, you know, he responded to my email. I'm reaching out regarding the BD manager role. So you guys have it posted. I think 17 people applied to it in like a week or whatever. And then long story short, I left him a voicemail. And then today I also sent him an email and a note as well. And then today I basically said, let me just cold call this guy. And then I just did, and he answered the phone and we talked for like 9 minutes. And then I just asked him like, you know, what exactly you guys looking for? I want to make sure we can send you guys like perfect people. And he kind of told me the must-haves. We went over like, you know, what companies you want me to poach people from, like what the interview process looks like. And yeah, like we kind of just kept it like high level and stuff. And I was just like, all right, cool. So like as like in terms of like paperwork and getting that executed, like, you know, you want me to get that to you like ASAP? Do you guys already have one? He's like, no, we don't. He's like, get me your paperwork, please. And then we'll just go from there. And yeah, he connected me with another guy on his team. So yeah, a lot working at once. So like I basically like have to come up with like a contract within basically 24 hours ideally. So yeah, that's where I'm at basically right now.
That's amazing. I mean, just use the one that we're sharing with you and you can just modify it. Keep it simple. But like for context, guys, Roby was an experienced recruiter. Roby, talk to me like, what was your journey of like getting clients? Like, did you also go through similar journey of like doing everything manually and then trying to like hodgepodge, hack it through a bunch of different tools and then now using Flynt? Like what was kind of your journey and how is kind of like Flynt helping you so far?
It was a nightmare. So I actually did land a couple clients in my previous agency, but I cannot tell you like how many tabs I would have open, like the amount of different tools, like just the most complicated like ChatGPT workflows you could imagine. This is like 2023. And long story short, yeah, it was just like super hard to like have to go through each actual page to find the decision maker on each role using Sales Navigator, finding their emails. Most of the time it wasn't accurate. I can't tell you how many times I would have emails bounce. I'm pretty sure I ruined a ton of domains at my previous agency. And yeah, like a couple of the ones I did land kind of wound up being, kind of want to use the term luck and good timing. And I kind of just happened to have like a really, really good MCP. But from an automation standpoint, in terms of like what Flynt is able to do, yeah, I mean, you just set up the agents. So basically I have 2 agents running and they basically pull, you know, anywhere from 17 to sometimes 35 leads a day. So I have like a bench of like candidates. So if there's like days like, or leads. So if there's like a day where like for whatever reason, like basically my point is I don't have any shortage of leads basically. Like it's just at this point it's like how many more inboxes do I want to add? And I think the interesting thing that Preston was talking about early on was like it does kind of take time to compound. I can actually show you guys like on some of these responses, they're like on touch 4 and the other one was on touch 5, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 1,000 like, you know, touch points going out to decision makers, if that makes sense. And like basically with 2 agents, you can pretty much hit up like, you know, 50-ish new decision makers a day. And if you're hitting 50 new decision makers a day, 5 days a week, that's, you know what I'm saying, 250 a week. So, you know, every month you could hit 1,000 and you can basically scale. So that's what I'm gonna do from now is basically scale. So essentially it's starting to get to the point that now responses are rolling in and it's pretty much like, all right, now I need to start structuring my calendar in a way where I can actually start taking these calls and actually be present and have my paperwork ready and stuff like that. But like Preston was saying, I guess it's not that complicated in terms of the contract and stuff like that. You don't need to make it complicated, I guess.
I guess real quick, where is the biggest time savings? Is just automating everything basically for you?
The fact that I literally just get an email from an agent basically saying, here's the leads, and I don't have to actually find their emails and find the postings. So like now I'm able to just go back and type in the guy's name in my, you know, the CRM on Flynt and I can just have everything pulled up in one place. Like, you know, the hooks, the company size. So that when I called him, I was just able to say, hey, look, I see the posting. I see that you guys had it posted a week ago and 17 people hit apply. Whereas back then I would have to have like 6 different tabs to have all that information open. Honestly, the biggest unlock is that it allows you to spend more time doing like the most highest leverage things of this job, which are talking to candidates and leads. So you don't have to spend time like researching companies and find a decision maker and find the email. Like what I spent the most time doing on this whole like client BD thing was honestly tweaking my messaging because I could spend time doing that. I didn't have to spend time like trying to find the decision makers. Like, so I made sure that each of my email touch points read very, very human. Like, you know, so that's, to me, again, I think the highest leverage point where the AI is doing all the grunt work. So yeah, I think the automation stuff is good to definitely lean into. Don't let it do all the work, you know, for you and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's amazing.
Yeah, because like it's very easy to be busy, but then you're like, oh, I'm being busy on all these like a million manual tools, and then I really didn't get anything done that day because you're just moving so slowly, but you felt like you had a busy day, right? But then you're producing like literally nothing.
I mean, earlier on, like I kind of treated it like, oh, like there'd be like a point in time where it'd be like, oh, it's lunchtime and I forgot to like import my leads into whatever. So like now, like I think you've kind of mentioned this before, it's like just do it every morning. So I literally have a block every morning where unless I like something's on fire, I don't respond to anyone else or do anything. And it's just like doing the same thing over and over and over, you know, and then that's kind of the consistency. And then, you know, after a couple of weeks, next thing you know, you have like 1,000 people that you have outreaches going out to, where if you try to do that on your own, good luck, like, you know.
So the cool thing with AI, guys, is that teams have less urge to hire. Like there's honestly, like why hire? And then the whole like AI agent, honestly, I think it's going to completely disrupt. Like there's just no more need anymore for VAs. Like the AI agent, depending on what you need an AI agent to do, like it can do way better. 24/7 consistency, saving you time, saving you money as well. So like there are like, of course, like use cases where AI agents are just not that helpful, but then obviously like for something like this where it's tons of just manual steps, game changer.